In this video, we are going to learn how you can convert a design, which such as this one, a login page, by using HTML and CSS. To start with, we'll first actually look at the design. So a design could be in a form of a URL, such as I'm using a Figma over here. It could be a Photoshop file, could be a sketch file, but you need to analyze the design first. So over here, if you see it, there is a background, which could be considered as a background color, which could be set, you can say, by using the background color property. Then you have a header over here. Then you have a form, and within them there is a form field. Actually, two of them, email address and the password. Then you have a button, and then the bottom, you can say it's a link, or you can say it's a sort of a footer for us. So header, then a div, and then a footer at the bottom. So to get started, let's try and actually use what you call as the Visual Studio. I'll start. I'll actually start. Let me just set it up first. So okay, I can see the design, and okay, so over here I'm using a Visual Studio extension. It's called as a live server. You can set this up so you can view it whatever. Let's suppose I'll be coding over here. I can actually view it live at the browser. So for instance, if I type this, and let's just create a heading first. Okay, so we have this. It should function over here for sure. Let's see. Yep. Okay, it's connected now. Let's try and check one more time. Yep, it's working. So it's perfect. Now, the first thing we need to do it is obviously write some HTML code. To do that, we should analyze how our design is set up. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that okay, we have a header, we have some content at the bottom, which is a form, and then I'll call this a footer actually. So let's try and actually write some HTML code. So for to do that, I'll wrap this up in a container. I'll call it container. And I'll have what you call as a header. I'll call this header. Within header, if we see, we have a logo sort of stuff. Um, but this logo that you're seeing, I'll be using a font awesome over here. So for that, I'll just leave it like this and have a welcome written along with a div. I can call it logo. Okay. Um, okay. So we have this logo. Okay, so we leave it like this. So this was our header. Then this container, we can call it login form. Okay, and let's save it. Okay. Then within it, we have few fields. So call it container fields. Container fields. Obviously, you can name them as per whatever you want to wish. Type one is text, or you can even have an email over here. So that'd be fine. We have a placeholder email address. Okay, so that's done. Then input type is password. Okay, then placeholder obviously is password in the design. Next up is okay, so this was obviously we needed that white background for the container field, so that's why it's over there. Then it's a input type submit, which has the value as login. Okay, so that's good. Then at the bottom we have we can obviously call this footer, and we have a link over here which could be wrapped in a paragraph first. We don't know the link, so sign up. Okay, and then space for a new account. So we have our HTML ready now. Now let's try, obviously, if you actually see it, it looks something like this. Obviously, it's in a raw form. Now, the first thing first, we can set this up the title. Okay, then we obviously need the font. For the font, we can use Google Fonts. So simply Google font, and for this, I'll be using actually what you call as the open sen as a font. So I'll search to, okay, open sans, fine. I'll go over here. We can select a regular one. Then we can go for a bold for the heading. I think that's enough for now. And we will be embedding what we call as a link. So we'll place it over here. This is how actually you can embed the custom fonts. And next step is it shows simple how you can simply how you can use it within your css within your css files. Actually, next step is for the logo. I'll be using, as I mentioned, let's google the font awesome. So I'll just directly go over to that link. In fact, it's font awesome. I'll be using this. It's basically a sort of font which actually can give you the icon. So in simple, I mean, I normally use it. It saves a lot of time, and also you don't need to use images, and so it makes your page load faster. So we'll be using it over here as our logo. And obviously, to embed this, we need some sort of link for it. So you can search this. So this version that I'm using is 4.7. I can go over here, and 4.7, I normally search it like CDN font awesome 4.7. And okay, let's try and check whichever works. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Over here, we can select the version. I'm using an older version right now, not a new one, because that requires a little more effort. Just wanted to quickly set it up. So I'll just use this. We'll place it up, and you should see the logo. Okay, so we are done with it. I will actually do one thing more, which is open the open sense, because I want to show you how I copy paste the uh, font. No, what do you call as the properties? Simply, you can say rules. Okay, so okay, now then we need to set it up the main.css file. This is the old code. We remove it. Okay, now we reference it. So let's reference it. And since I have the style sheet in the same folder, I'll just reference it like this. And so it's connected. Now we actually can see how we'll just use the background color property to see whether it is connected or not. So let's try. Yep, it's connected. Perfect. So this is done. Now the next step is, okay, we need to apply the styles. So firstly is the background. Then we will work over the divs. So for the background, I'll just take the color. So this is the background color, and then background dash color. Okay, so we have the background color with us. Okay, then now you'll actually work over this div. So let's go and check. We have this container. We need to make it, I mean, sort of center it. Hash container. That's just normally you obviously measure it. Well, now I know it that it's like a 300 pixels, so I'll just 300 pixels, and with 300 pixels, I'll center it with margin. That's how you can center it. So it's centered, and I want to I'll use the margin. to center it a bit more. So let's see. Okay, we can further set it up, so not a big deal. Let's uh let's see what happens next. Everything is in center, so let's actually center it. Okay, so it's in center. Then first up is the header. So header, hashtag header. Then in the header we have this what you call as the logo. I was using a logo class, and for this logo, and since was using a font, we will actually use a font over here and color white. Nothing is happening, so probably it's because I haven't applied it to that particular class. So let's do that and apply it to that one. Not okay. Let me check. It's 100%. 25. Same. Still not happening. Why is that? So let's check. You can use Chrome browser tools to even check the properties. That's how I'm doing it. And you may encounter a few of these sort of problems. That's pretty okay. Let's see. Yeah, it does increase. So, okay, so let's make it 50 pixels. Okay, it looks better. Yeah, a little closer. Okay. Then next up is we have within the header we have an H1, so we will target that header H1 font size equals to let's make it 20 pixels. Okay, it's less. Oh yes, we forgot to actually add the property within because when we're just using a one font. I'll just apply it throughout the file, and you can see it's auto applied for the rest of the divs. Now we have a font is applied. We make it 30, oops, 30 pixels. Hmm. The color was white. Okay, so yeah, sort of nearby. We will obviously need to adjust it a bit more. Okay, 32. Let's see. Okay, good. Now we need to do something over here, which is create those fields. Okay, so within the login form, you have the container fields, and in that, this white box thing was present. So first up, dot container field, or we can even target it something like login form, container field. So first up, background should be white. Okay, and if we see it, okay, so that's good. Then we want to target the input fields. So that's like input, and you can obviously apply one by one even. So I can actually apply something like this even. This will even work. So for example, I want to extend. Okay, so let's see. Hmm, maybe this. Okay, let's check. Hmm, it's not getting applied. Let's go back and check. Sorry for it. Hmm, do we have all the fields right? Hmm, let's check. Let's check. Type email is okay. Login form, container field, and we have a type email. Oh yes, one mistake. Sorry. And the other one is this. Okay, so this is good. We remove the borders. Okay, so the borders are removed, And then I'll just remove the padding as well, and so as the margins. Okay, so now they're 100% within the container. This outline that you see when I focus, I want to get rid of this as well. uh, Outline none, and I may need to, yeah, I may need to even have it like, for example, if we focus, so there are other properties. So like for example, when probably I'll change the background color to show you this example. So when I actually take my mouse and select the field, this is called focus. Then there is a hover effect even, which when you take your mouse and you're seeing that the colors is changing. That's basically hover. There's another way you can directly apply all these properties, which is this way. Automatically, it's going to apply to within the container whatever the input fields are. It's going to apply to those. It's going to apply the CSS to this particular form. So this is done. Next up is we have this. Obviously, we need sort of a border in between. So that's like on input type is equals to password. Okay. And we need a border at the top. Just say it this color. We have that. So this is good. And let's now try and add some padding to the top. Okay, padding to bottom a bit. Okay, and I'll extend the text a bit, maybe 20 pixels. See how it goes. Better. And I can further make it better by increasing the padding. It's now looking closer. This much. This is too much. Normally, you can get these values from. Let's suppose if you're using Sketch, you will just select and you are going to get the values over here in the code. So that's easier to get via Figma. But since it's just an image, I'm just guessing the values right now. But it's okay. Okay, so I'll apply the input fields with the font. Okay, and font size 2 pixels, 14 pixels, 15 pixels. That's better. Then we need to have a border as well. So for that, I there are like sort of we need border at the top and the bottom even in the input fields. So let's just uh, okay, let's just try and do this. Mm, Okay, not that good. In fact, I'll add directly to the fields. That'd be better. Is it happening? Not really. Okay, we have a mistake here. Hmm, let's check. Border radius, 10 pixels. Not happening here. Let's try and check. Now it looks good. But you can see there's an issue over here in the second field. We need to actually remove the padding from the top. So for this, I can actually use our tool, which can generate this sort of a code. Uh, if let's suppose if you don't remember the property directly, you can actually use this tool. It's pretty handy. So we wanted 0, 0, and 6 and 6. So we just make it 0 here, make it 0 here. So if we use this only in the password, that should do the job. Not really. Okay. Order dash radius. Firstly, I'll make it 0. Wait a bit. Let's try it once more. I'm maybe doing some mistake here. Let me check. This one is fine. Sneaking. Okay, so this is good. Then we had the border in between, so this is right. I wanted to remove, oh, this property. Okay, so this was a mistake, so it's all good now. Next up is obviously this button. So let me just try and get the value for this even. I'll use this and okay, so we have this. This is a button. So hash login form, container fields, input type is equals to submit. Okay, then we'll make it full width. And okay, order none. Okay. Oh, one mistake. This was type submit login. That's fine. Type submit. Was it within the container field? No. That's the reason it's not applying. Okay, that's good. Background. Background color. We'll get it from there. Okay, so okay, missing this. Now better. Now let's apply the font. Okay, we'll use the font weight property to have a bold sort of a font and increase it to okay 20. Okay, fine. Color, we'll make it white. Okay, that's good. And we will create some space by using margin. That's fine. And add some padding. Um, top and the bottom. No padding in the. I'm using the shorten property now. And border radius 6 pixels. It's getting a lot more closer now. Okay, that's good. You make it 14 pixel. A lot better. Okay, but you can see whenever I'm hovering over, no effect is there. This you can actually simply copy paste. And so we want to change, let's suppose, the background color to black and keep the font the same. That's okay. Okay, but the cursor is not changing. That we can do by the cursor property and the value is so you can see. Okay, that's good. Uh, with Visual Studio, you can even select what you call as colors by using. Okay, I just want to make it a little more dark. There was one way of basically having a selector, but it's okay. Let's just make it a bit more dark. Well, I don't like black here. Okay, yep, it's now better. The next thing is obviously changing the color and making the font a little larger and obviously making this bold. So we go on to footer, then we have a paragraph, footer, paragraph, color needs to be white. So okay, you can see it didn't apply to the link. So we will obviously apply it like this. Okay, so that's good. We can remove this underline by using the text decoration property none. Okay, so that's done. Font weight being bold, so that's also clear. We will now increase the font size. Oops. 17, 20. Too much. 17, and this one looks better. So if you see, okay, so if you try and now compare, this form looks quite a lot closer to what you call as the converted version. We can further improve this. How? So this was all about the code I have, written. Now I'll show you how you can use the Chrome extension plugin together with it in order to improve this design. So I'll just open this up. I'll use the tool as I showed you. And so as you can see, you can increase the font a bit from over here. So this property that we had, we'll go back to Visual Studio and we'll search this property which was in the input field. We will now apply 18 pixels. So that's being done. Go back here. Now, if you refresh, this is all cleared. Login, I'm okay with it. I'm satisfied. I think this looks pretty okay even. Logo is fine. Logo size still looks small. Uh, okay. We will increase this to 65. So that's okay. So we go back and make it 65. Okay, so that's good. Then some spacing issue. Okay. Uh, okay. Great. Let's just go back here. Search for header H1, margin top. Oh, finally. So we are done. Now, if let's suppose I want to share this design, so this is like a another pro trip tip you can say, which is like if I want to share this design to you guys, how I can do it. So there is you can do this by JS Fiddle. Search this, and it's like a code sharing platform you can say, and I'll just copy paste the code to generate a link, and which I'll share with you guys. You can find that within the comment, and that'd be okay. So you have this index file. From over here I can take these two, this thing. So this is my, I'll add it at the top. This is my HTML, so I'll just take that even. Then in the CSS I have written it. I just need to copy all my code to CSS. Once I do that, I'll just run it. And here you go. You can see this. Obviously, we had the little margin over here, which you can adjust from this particular value and run it. And it's going to adjust. So it's all good. I'll share this link with you guys. I'll save this and I'll share it as a comment with this video. You can go and view this code. Tell me how you can actually further improve this. I think there are ways you can further improve this. I'm sure. Um, it is not responsive, by the way. So the whole purpose of this actually exercise was just to show you how you can convert a design using HTML and CSS.